So why go through all this effort? We believe there's two main reasons. First, most rental units do not provide outstanding barware or culinary ware because those things can be broken or they're stolen, and the owners don't want to replace that. Secondly, during these crazy times of COVID, which we are experiencing during this filming, a lot of restaurants and bars are not open, or if they are open, they're at minimal capacity. And we feel that, because of that, we want to go out and enjoy those places, but still be able to come back to our home for the week and enjoy our own glassware, our own cocktails, our own wine, all of those things without having to worry about who's wearing a mask, who's not, how busy places are they open or not? So this just gives us a lot of flexibility to just have peace and calm while we're on vacation, which is really what vacation's supposed to be about. The kitchenware that I'm usually the most disappointed about whenever I go on vacation are the knives. Dull knives are dangerous. That's usually where you will end up injuring yourself is using a dull knife as compared to a sharp knife. I know a lot of people that sounds counterintuitive, but it's because a sharp knife does the work for you. Dull knife, you have to put your pressure on it, more likely that you will cut yourself. So we recommend bringing knives. With that, we recommend using a knife bag, easy to transport, makes it safe, secure. You're not going to cut yourself. It takes up very limited space. There's two of us, so we like to bring two chef's knives, one paring knife, and then I'm a big fan of bringing a pair of quality kitchen shears. You might be thinking, really, John, kitchen shears? Well, because of these, I bought Cornish hens a couple nights ago, spatchcocked them, and made a wonderful dinner that I wouldn't have been able to do, or it would have taken a lot more effort to do with a knife, even my sharp ones, but simple task because of this. And it takes no space. And let's be honest, scissors are just great to have around anyway. So really, really important to bring your own knives. There's other kitchenware that we like to bring. And a lot of these items might seem a little over the top, but in our experience, they're usually lacking at the rental. Case in point, where we are today, we do not have good salt, good pepper, good olive oil. So that's why we bring kosher salt, good cracked pepper, and a little bottle of olive oil. Because if not, we'd be heading to the store to buy those, and usually prices somewhere on vacation can be more expensive. So we just bring little containers. Also, huge fan of bringing Ziploc bags of different sizes, gallon and pint. We've actually already gone through all of our pints, so we're telling you what we really do bring. And then huge fans of a sous vide machine. This is the Jewel. Again, items that don't take up a lot of space, but allow for us to do some amazing cooking here at our home away from home. We made wonderful steaks with this, and it really, it just takes up no space, does a great job. Here at Teakwood Tavern Hospitality, we take our bar game seriously, even when we're on the road. So we'll bring wine, batch cocktails, glassware, utensils, everything we need to give us quality beverages while we're out on the road. And we're going to teach you the tricks that we have to be able to bring all this and not take up that much space. So stick around. We enjoy quality glassware. And when we're on the road, we still want to drink out of quality glassware, but we have to be able to transport it safely and securely so that way it makes it not only to the destination, but back home so we can use it where we need it most. Now, we recommend bringing all-purpose glasses. We're big fans of the Riedel all-purpose that we have in front of you. These are great for both red and white, and so you don't have to bring two different style of glasses. And then also a tip is to save the boxes that they were shipped to you in. So that way you can pull them out, the boxes that is, put the wine glasses inside, and then put this in your vehicle when you're traveling. Now, if you're saying, well, John, that's great, but I don't have those anymore. That's okay. You can also buy a wine or cocktail glass bag. And this is actually a Riedel bag that we use all the time, just locally, whenever we're going to BYOB restaurants, where we bring our own glassware. Here, we're using them to bring our Nick and Nora glasses. And so with both this vessel and the box, we can bring these four glasses and also these four Nick and Nora glasses for cocktails. And really, that's enough for us to be able to enjoy multiple wines at one time if we want to have a red and a white, but also have a cocktail or two. What else do you need? Let's talk bar mise en place. Now, the point of this is to be able to bring those items that will help you enjoy your cocktails, your wine, but not take up too much space in your vehicle. We highly recommend a knife bag for that reason. And as you're about to see, we're going to pull out all these various utensils that all fit into this small little package. So let's begin. All right. On the cocktail side, we recommend bringing a metal shaking tin. Also, a jigger, stirring spoon. We like a lot of stirred cocktails, and so we'll make the drink in the large side of the mixing tin and stir it. And then a strainer. Here we have a Hawthorne strainer. On the on the wine side, we will bring a vacuum pump. So once we've opened a bottle of wine, we can pump it. They just have these little lids. You put it right inside the bottle, pump out the air, help it last for a couple days longer. Wonderful little tool, very inexpensive. And then also a quality wine key. This is a Trudeau Turbo. Love this key. If you're really into a garnish game, then we recommend bringing a channel knife and also a Y peeler. But these two are really more of just secondary items if you really wanted to bring them. And we'll talk more about knives in the culinary section, but also a good paring knife is helpful for some garnishes as well. And last but not least, this giant weapon, which really doesn't take up that much room, a citrus press, because we always recommend using pressed citrus whenever possible. All of that fit into this bag, except for the tins, takes up very little space, and yet helps us make wonderful cocktails on the road. The first rule of making batch cocktails is using proper measurement. Now, you can use any kind of jigger or measuring cup you have, but it is essential to make sure that you are measuring it out, because what you're going to do is essentially take one cocktail, like an individual serving, and multiply that by multiple. Now, there's other things that you need to take into account, like dilution and citrus and things that we'll get into shortly, but it all begins with knowing that you are using the proper measurement to have consistent cocktails. Dilution is key to cocktails, and that goes for batch cocktails as well. Now, if what you're trying to do is make a batch cocktail that you will then stir or shake over ice at your location, then you can skip this next part because you're going to be adding the dilution via the shaking or stirring with ice. But if what you want is to be able to pull that batch of cocktail out of the freezer, pour it directly into the glass, then you need to take into account dilution. And there's a couple different ways to do that. We're going to show you what I think is the easiest way, and that is to just make a test cocktail. So we're going to make a martini. 2 parts gin, 1 part vermouth, dry vermouth, so 2 ounces. So here's what we do. We know that we have 2 ounces of our gin. We actually bought this local. This is a gin from New Mexico. Then we have our 1 ounce of vermouth. So with those two combined, we should have 3 ounces of liquor. Now we're going to stir that. Right here I have ice. I'm just going to make sure there's no excess water. You want to give it a good 20-second stir. And now what we're doing is not only chilling, but diluting. And what we will compare is the 3 ounces of pre-chilled, pre-diluted beverage to what we have at the end. All right. I have my glass. I did not chill this because I don't want any condensation, any water residue in there. And I'm going to pour this into our jigger to measure. That was 2 ounces right there. And that was 1 ounce and 3/4. So total 3 ounces and 3/4 of an ounce is what I have of my now chilled and diluted martini. What do I do with that? Well, that tells me that 3/4 of an ounce of water was added to the final drink. So if I'm going to batch this, I'm going to put into this bottle 2 ounces of gin per drink, 1 ounce of vermouth per drink, and then I'm going to add 3/4 an ounce of water. And that might seem like a lot, but if you were to just take these two, mix them, throw them into your freezer, and drink it without any dilution, it would be incredibly abrasive. And that's why dilution is so important for cocktails. So again, easiest way to figure out dilution for batching, make a cocktail, compare it, the pre-dilution, pre-chilled volume to the dilution and chilled amount afterwards. And then you also have a nice drink. Cheers. We recommend utilizing fresh citrus whenever possible. And citrus has a shelf life, so you can't squeeze it too early or else it'll oxidize. Really, 8 hours is your max limit on wanting to use any kind of fresh juice. We recommend trying to use it as fresh as possible. Within the first couple hours, it should taste pretty normal, but really start to nosedive after that because of oxidation. So when we're discussing batch cocktails, we recommend not adding the citrus until you're ready to make the drink. So you're going to put all the other ingredients together, bring it with you, and then you're going to add the citrus to order. For example, here I have a paper plane cocktail. We actually have videos of us making this cocktail. We're big fans of it, and it travels really well because all you have to do is add citrus. So we have our batch. It has the 3 other ingredients, which are bourbon, Amarone, and Aperol. So we need 2 ounces and 1/4 of that. And then we're going to squeeze that citrus right now to order. And so again, it's an equal parts drink. So I need 3/4 an ounce of lemon juice. We have our ice. I'm going to make sure there's no excess water in that. Give this 12 shakes. And there you have it. That is a batched paper plane. All we had to do is add citrus whenever we're ready. All the other ingredients, which again, bourbon, Aperol, and Amarone are all already here. Simple, easy to do, and now you see why we brought the citrus press. Cheers. Depending on what cocktail you're making, you might have ingredients like bitters, simple syrup, or vermouth going into it. And each of those will be fine for a week and really up to about 2 weeks. However, after that, they really will start to change the flavor of the cocktail. So if you're trying to batch for a longer period of time, keep that in mind. But if you're going for a road trip, really for a week or so, you could put all those ingredients into your cocktails and not worry about it. We did that with our martini here. We actually already had our vermouth in there, but we brought this for other reasons. And then in the corn and oil cocktail that we brought, there's 4 dashes of Angostura bitters in every individual serving. So there was 8 servings in here, and we had that's 32 dashes of Angostura bitters. We'll be fine for a week. Honey syrup, simple syrup, always good for about 2 weeks. So again, feel free to add those to your cocktail and utilize them in the first couple weeks. As you've seen, batch cocktails are a wonderful way to bring exciting cocktails with you on the road. You just need to remember a couple of key components like dilution, citrus, your other ingredients, vermouth, and how long they last, and really the key to measuring your cocktails and going through that trial run of testing it before you batch and take it on the road. But really a wonderful way to just have exciting, delicious cocktails from the comfort of your vacation home. We love traveling with wine. Really, even if we're not going on a road trip but going out of town on a plane, we will bring wine. Just kind of one of those things that we like to do. We pick a bunch of fun bottles that we think would just make our vacation that much better, and it usually does. So our recommendation is to, bring something fun with you that is going to help make your vacation more enjoyable. Doesn't mean you have to go huge and splurge, but bring a variety. So we bring whites and reds, some rosés as well. And what we also do is we try to look at different levels of alcohol. So we might bring some reds that are in the 13% alcohol, so a little lighter, light, medium bodied range. And then we'll bring some bigger ones for maybe some meals when we're having, some steak or something like that, as well as if you're somewhere cold and you really just want a big, robust wine. But we find that bringing the variety allows for you to enjoy your wine that much more. We've covered a lot in this video, discussing how to transport glassware, how to do pre-batch cocktails, and bringing kitchenware, knives, salt, pepper, the whole gamut. All of this is to hopefully help you to have a better vacation because you have the utensils and the cocktails and the wine to truly enjoy yourself. Now, we've tried to cover as much as we could, but if you want a more thorough explanation, please head to our website, teakwoodtavern.com, where we have a full write-up on things that we like to bring. We get into a little deeper detail there as well. And if you like videos like this, please subscribe to our channel below. And if you want to see other videos just like this, please click here. Thank you.